3, 2, 1, ready, action.
Hi, I'm Chance. This is Jeremy and Austin. We're from Martin Murphy Middle School. Welcome to Bilesville, a city known for its flourishing farm goods and advanced farming infrastructure. In 2020, the Salinas farming community was overwhelmed with housing and population. The impact on the farming industry was devastating. And so, in an effort to save this great American farming heritage, the County of Monterey seized the opportunity to purchase land back from the government to build a new urban farming city in an old unpopulated army base called Fort Worth that is located closer to the Pacific Ocean and just south of Salinas. That new city was Bilesville. Bilesville provides year-round corn and salmon production, high vertical buildings designed for housing and sky farming, and an abundant source of energy and fresh water that produced by its uniquely designed solar, hydroelectric, and desalination systems. Here's Austin now to talk about the hydroelectric and desalination systems.
To the left side of our city, just off the coast of the Pacific Ocean, is Bilesville's solar power, hydropower, and desalination plant. The solar panels use sun tracking technology, which tilts the panels towards the sun during the day, so they can capture up to 10% of the sun's rays during the winter and up to 40% during the summer. The solar panels charge batteries located inside the power station. The power distribution system typically switches on between solar power and hydropower during the day and back to solar power during the night. The hydroelectric system gets its saltwater supply from the desalination pumps. 2 sets of pumps suck in ocean water, which is then evenly distributed between the desalination station and the hydroelectric system. The hydroelectric system contains a second set of pumps which compress the water to generate more psi at a higher rate of flow. The salt water then passes through 2 hydro turbines to generate power and then is sent back into the ocean. When both desalination pumps are on at the same time, they can generate up to 166 gallons per minute to generate up to a 1 megawatt of electricity for Bilesville citizens. The second set of pumps takes the water to the desalination station, which turns salt water into clean fresh water. The first stage of filtration is called pre-treatment, filters out any large objects inside the water, such as garbage, fish, debris, etc. The second stage is called filtration. It filters out all the salt from the salt water. The third and final stage is called post-treatment. It filters out any harmful chemicals remaining in the water. This water is then stored in the water tower until used by Bilesville citizens. Here's Jeremy to now talk about Bilesville buildings.
Thank you, Austin. The Biosphere Cornfield is elevated to maximize the use of city housing space and is contained in a biosphere environment that is optimized for farming year-round. The Domosphere shelters the corn from any harmful weather conditions and creates an eco-friendly, stable biosphere. The dome also captures all the goodness of sunlight, just like a greenhouse, and the dome lights emit an electromagnetic spectrum appropriate for photosynthesis during the night or days of poor sunlight. The field inside the sphere can also rotate to position a specific area of the field for optimal sunlight during the day if needed. The nearby salmon farm provides nitrogen-enriched water used to irrigate the corn, and the corn provides a filter for the excess water that is returned to the salmon farm. The salmon farm also provides nitrogen gas that is carefully measured and mixed with the oxygen and then pumped into a biosphere to create the perfect farming atmosphere for corn. Now, because the cornfield is in a stable environment year-round, it can produce 3 times the harvest than traditional cornfields that are seasonal only. The corn farm can produce 104,285,000 bushels or 5,840 pounds of corn to feed 80,000 citizens each year. The salmon farm uses 500 cubic meter tanks to grow a total of 70,000 tons of salmon per year. Although the Biosphere Cornfield is the primary crop producer in Bilesville, the Bilesville buildings also contribute to the city's crop production. The buildings were designed as sky farms to farm food while providing a home-life environment. Each sky farm building provides outdoor decks and enough farming space to grow additional crops for families and citizens, similar to the sky farm concept in these pictures. We have studied these imaginary sky farm concepts and turned them into more practical building structures that are not much different from the buildings you see today, except they produce food in a city environment. The outside farming decks expose plants to sunlight and clean, fresh air. The inside the Sky Farm building's apartments have direct connections to elevators that make it easy to access the rooftops and decks.
That concludes our presentation on our city biosphere. Are there any questions?
Yes, Caleb. You have a question?
Right on, bro.